First section is the basic. One more. We will study Father's words. We who are alive today are live in the last days. We should cultivate a humble heart and make the utmost efforts to receive divine inspiration through prayer. We should not be strongly attached to the conventional concept, but rather should direct ourselves to be receptive to the Spirit. Means we have to feel our original self. We said forgive, love and one be oneness. We try to imagine the situation. The, uh, we must have a humble heart to pray. Meaning, in the past you try to pray and then say many words, but for like for example, forgive, love, and in one, and be grateful. So even you read it 100 times, you don't feel it. But if in your heart you try to feel what is the state that you can forgive for, and you can love, well, what kind of feeling is that? So the God's words, we try to imagine if the words is fulfilled, God's words is fulfilled. How is the situation? How is the state? Then you can that God's love that can appear in yourself. So try to imagine it, and then try to feel it, the fulfillment of it, accomplish it. So through God's words, then you can have God's love appear in yourself. So you can have that spiritual experience. You can feel God's spirit. So be humble to and pray it. So like this, that God's word, you imagine the God's word, and if the fulfillment of God of this God's words, and then you can use your spiritually, you can feel it. Next, the conventional concept, you uh, you under the bondage of the conventional concept. Okay. So in order that we may find the new truths which can guide us to provide of the new age. Uh, so meaning, do not just try to let go those concepts, so we will not be dominated or affected by the. Mm. So that is quite. Anyway, take time to do that. We say this word, a conventional concept, means that's your own concept. You don't be affected by it, that, but try to follow your conscience. Mm. Continuous. When we come across the truth, we should ascertain whether it leads us to become one with heaven's guidance. We should examine ourselves as we whether or not a genuine heavenly bliss spring forth abundantly from the deeps of our soul. Only in this way the seekers in the last day, discover the path to true salvation. So we must be in one with the God's Spirit. Then we can, from our deep of ourselves, we can feel it. Um, when we receive God's word, we must feel it in ourselves, in within our in our body. So that's our assignment. We not only by your head, by your brain to receive God's word, but you have to use your heart to feel the God's words. So you try to think if the fulfillment of that God's word, how is it? Try to feel it. Then there in your heart, you can your soul within your soul, you can really feel God's word. Then you can have the joy of your the from your for your spirit. Therefore, how we can remove our fallen nature. So that's our task. And here how can we become one? To see the conscience of other with the eyes of heart. This is a divine principle. Uh, it it is a human nature that when people wrong their neighbor for selfish ends, they suffer more from the pangs of the conscience than they benefit from the enjoyment of unrighteous gains. Anyone realizing this will restrain himself from hurting his neighbor. But would genuine brotherly love to overflow from the depths of people's heart, they would no longer wish to do anything that could cause pain to their neighbor. How much more would this be true in a society of people who actually feel that God, who transcends time and space and observes their every act, wants them to love each other? Therefore, once the sinful history of humanity has come to an end, a new historical era will become willing. People simply will not commit sin. So far, member people who believe God, but the reason why people who believe in God continue to commit sin is because their faith in God has been merely conceptual. In the history of a religion, Christianity, Islam, Jewish, though they fight to each other, is having war between themselves. In our own church, also we also have division and against each other, um, the, because their belief of God is conceptual. Uh, uh, God as parents want the children really in one and be happy. So that's a parent's heart. So if we can feel that kind of God's heart, how can we fight with each other, right? Um, that's why we will not persecute our brother sister. We will not judge them. Like God, the existence is not conceptual. God is our parents. He wants us to become in one. So the parents' desire, we ourselves, we have to feel it. Not only in our head. If it's only we can, if that's the case, we cannot unite in one. So we have to have our original mind, our conscious, through that we feel God, our parents. That's why so far we couldn't unite as one, because our faith toward God is conceptual. Because we use our brain to understand God. If the God can in our heart, and we feel God's desire, our conscience can feel God's desire, then sure, how we can fight with our brother sister, how we can hurt our brother sister. So parents, God, the parents' heart can be in one with us, be with me. Then we can build the kingdom of heaven. Mm. That that's the words in the divine principle. Like this, God's thinking can become the thinking in myself. Uh, so we have to. Let us try this kind of practice exercise together. So see with the eye of heart. Mm. We sometimes have some struggle with some people. So you try to find a person that you are struggling with now, and then try to imagine his face, right? You feel hurt, right? Mm. Um, I will guide you. Uh, Then you just try to follow the word, the leading, and then try to feel how your heart feels. It's okay you want to open your eyes, or it's okay you want to close your eyes. Now, when I think of that person in the past, I have many suffering experience, those negative feelings, emotion, and then I thought, now I recall those things. I feel really pain in my heart. Centering on true love. Please let me see the person properly. My own conscience. Use my eye of heart to look at the person, to look at his original nature and look at his original conscience. My conscience is really one. Desire is one to become one and all together can be happy. That is really my heart feeling. But why in that time I have that negative feeling toward him? There must be some reason that the person acts improperly to me. Let me try to think that way. The person might have been affected by some conventional concept and under the bondage that he couldn't have the things go as his way. He was in pain and suffering too. Maybe he has many things like this happen to him. I couldn't. Also myself, when I have a negative to people, in the same situation, I might also throw out bad words toward people. When I have this kind of pain, I might be the same way. I myself also have this kind of weak, immature, narrow-minded person. When I think of this, he and I are actually in the same situation, same existence. In the past, now this moment I can understand his situation. I feel he is pitiful. I want to help him too. This is the time I can stand as God's viewpoint and try and love this person. I can transform myself. How is it? When you thought of the person's face, that you feel very bad, right? But slowly, through the guidance, the words that I say, that the feeling come out that you want to pity the person, right? You feel that way, like this. Our parents God, that means the parents God can in ourselves, in my conscious. So then you can see the person's conscience. Then you want to become one with the person, want to be together happily. Then you can feel God in your heart like this. Then you can feel you feel He is pitiful. That kind of feeling can come out like this. The relationship between others can be restored. The, when we have our enemy like this, we can really forgive our enemy. In the past, it was really hard for us to really overcome this barrier. We said the fallen nature, there are four kinds. Failing to take one God's position. We cannot love others, leaving one's proper position. Then also reversing dominion, and then we multiply the criminal act. This is the fallen natures. But ourselves here use our eye of heart to look at people. When we look at others, naturally we can forgive people. You will be guided in this way. Then we can remove our fallen nature. So it means it's possible. You can feel the hope because here we cannot stand as God's position standpoint, but when we leave our position, then we can overcome our fallen nature. Mm. So far, in the past, we might think that it's very hard to remove our fallen nature. We thought in this way, but we know a foundation of faith is very easy to establish, but always fail in the foundation of substance. That you can know the foundation of substance is quite hard to accomplish, because we think I myself is correct. That kind of thoughts is very strong. No, now with the relationship with the spouse or the children or family conflict or nations conflict, because everybody think he's right. That's the reason they have conflict, and even we have faith, but still very hard to overcome this point. True Father said, True Father says, Godism. So only Godism that we can really become in one. There's the headwind thoughts. Yeah, this a Godism theology. So True Father, Father himself, he is using the eye of. He's using love to look at others. Use the eye of heart. So you learn Father's course, right? Mm. Father, True Father, when he was young, there's a refugee come around, because they are hungry. So he will give the rice to the people, or the same age as a child suicide, and the father knows that he cried for 3 days. Why? The child commits suicide. How suffering he is. How it's a difficult situation he was. The true father will try to feel that. Mm, Then also he let his friends to eat up all the food, the plantation in the farm, like that. Mm, the um, because he feel the hunger of the people. He took fish. He get the fish from the river, and then try to I mean the small fish, then try to take care of the fish by himself, but the small fish die. Then the father said, "Why you die? If your parents will worry if you die." So father can have that heart of parents. No, or the war or the religious war. Then father will say that's his responsibility. True father said, meaning if he can do better, then we'll lessen this kind of suffering. So that's the true father has the parent's heart. Also the North Korean, how the people really suffering for this hunger. Mhm. So that is God in him. It's not a conceptual. It's really in his heart together. Uh, I think you also have your enemy, right? And to that person, you can maybe you already give up because it's hard to forgive him and to love him. But the person's origin mind, my origin mind, actually is really want to unite as one. But because something in him, there's a reason. So that's why could not make it, because he's in a very suffering situation like this, like that. But originally, actually want to become one, but couldn't make it. So you use your heart, use the art of heart to look at him. Then you can understand his heart. And you understand he and me are the same. We are the children of God. So you can get the real feeling of it there. Then God's love, that God's love would make you in one. So that's how true Father is teaching us. So this is a centering on true love that we can really be through conscious. We can become one. So through our original mind, Father's whole life, of course, divine principle. All through this, we can really resolve these things. In your daily life, you can apply it or not. You can do it. So uh, you can teach your members to love his enemy like this way. It's not so difficult, right? Yes. Can do. If you can stand in this viewpoint, you can make it. They can do. Then you can change. We can change. So, Father's words many actually connect to this. Um, fallen, in order to remove fallen nature, so we have to love, to forgive. Mm. Just this crown of glory, this Father wrote this point is when he was 16 years old. Um, up to here, up to this here, does his Father talk to himself. And then after that, that is the conscious of Father's. That's the words of Father's conscious. This part actually is the conscious response to Father. So if you can understand this, when I doubt people, I feel pain. When I judge people, it is unbearable. When I hate people, there's no value to my existence. Yet, if I believe, I'm deceived. If I love, I'm betrayed. Suffering and grieving tonight, my head in my hands. Am I wrong? Oh, yes, I am wrong. Up to here, am I wrong? Is talking to the consciousness. Yes, I'm. Even though I was deceived, still I believe. Though I am betrayed, still forgive. Love completely, even those who hate you. Wipe your tears away and welcome with a smile those who know nothing but deceit, and those who betray without regret. O Master, the pain of loving, look at my hands. Place your hand on my chest. My heart is a bursting, such agony. But when I love those who act against me, I brought victory. If you had done the same things, I will give you the crown of glory. 16 years old, true father, already forgive his enemy and gain the victory. I myself, I had my enemy that I couldn't forgive. Because he cheated me. Because he cheated me, and so I cannot forgive him because he will damage the church. But uh, here, our true Father, if I hate people, then I has no value. That's what Father said to himself. So when I hate my enemy, I have no value of existence. I really have that kind of experience. So even I was deceived. So mm, if I believe I am deceived, I had that experience. So even I was deceived, I still have to believe. I still have to forgive. I have to love. I heard the Father's word. Then I feel that it's really take time to reach this. But anyway, so finally I try to forgive. Then after I forgive, I was liberated from the suffering. Then when I realized that I should forgive him earlier, then I would not experience so much pain. So if we can forgive, then both together, then you can go a better direction together. So that's my experience. Everyone here, two parents teach us to forgive and unite in one and love. When you see, Father is when he was 16 years old, he already experienced the conscious voice to him. Yeah, so that's Father's word. Mm. That's why true Father already can hear God's voice when he was 16 years old. So that's how Father walked this path until the end. So ourselves also have to love, to forgive. So that is true love. We have to start from this. We must know this point. Because of time, we will skip the work 3 and 4, and we'll go to work 5. Work 5, to perceive the conventional concept in oneself. We might say the conventional concept. Mother said those. Mother also say it takes time to really remove your typical conventional concept, but this is the reason why we cannot remove our fallen nature, because we think it should be like this, you should be like this, it should be done like this. This kind of concept we had many in ourselves. So that's the reason why we hate people. Um, so you try to think what kind of situation that you make you struggle. Yeah. Those kind of conventional concepts. So what kind of situation why you don't like that, or why you don't like the person like that. So that is the you try to write it out. Uh, uh, then you feel that person in that way is wrong, is a bad. That is because actually those situation is the your conventional concept. Mm. So that kind of situation, that people, that you have to try to forgive them and then accept, embrace them. Then you will be liberated. So what you write about is the major reason make you unhappy. All these negative feelings are to teach you to let go of those concepts. Those feelings are fallen natures and do not belong to your true self. The true self is original mind and conscious as well. True self is also love, forgive, and peaceful heart. That is truly your original heart in yourself, that you have many thoughts, many conventional thoughts that you should be this, the situation should be done like this. You understand that part of yourself. Many concepts that you learn from your parents, from your family. But your parents teach you have to do like this, you have to behave like this. Your parents teach you many things. So that kind of concept still exists in yourself, and that will affect you a lot. Mm. Your parents parents, they do this is because want to protect you. So they say you have to do this, you cannot do this. Um, but you already grown up. The time is changed already. But those concepts you learn from your parents still in yourself. So you use that concept to judge people, and or you judge yourself. You, like all the high school, college uh, time, those are learning time or training time. You have to do this. Things should be do like this way. You learn those things, or you should not do this. So all those concepts are deep planted inside you. So you will criticize people, use this concept to criticize people, criticize yourself. Also in the church training, your fundraising, witnessing, or the Abel can relationship training, you must do like this way. So we learn a lot of things in church too. Then those teachings still in yourself. That so now after the training, now you have many kinds of responsibilities. So that when you look at members, you use those concepts to judge your members, and or you to judge, to criticize yourself as well. Mm. So the teaching from Abel, with that time we tried. Those teaching is for us to gain the victory. But those guidance or from parents or from Abel leaders, that's in order to protect you. So they teach you that those things, but those teaching are still alive in ourselves. So we try to use that to judge those people who cannot do as those teaching, and then criticize. We didn't notice this part. We want to people to change. Then you create a struggle. That's why in the church, yeah, that's why we in church we also criticize others between the couples or the parents and child. Also, because you think you are right, your thought is right. Mm. That's why you struggle now. Why he cannot do this, cannot do that. In between the couple, let's say about husband and wife. Between husband and wife also. There's a established the conventional concept that, for example, toward husband, husband should be like this. The wife would think, be a husband should like this. As a father, you should by this. This is a like a conventional concept. Mm. Also, as a man, you should be like this. So that's the wife's concept. So he learned that from the TV drama or wherever. Mm. In the family, as a husband, you should behave, or you should do like this, like that. And when you look at your husband, that he did not do this, he couldn't do this, and cannot do this, then compare. Then start to complain about your husband, or you fight with your husband, quarrel. But originally, you want to trust your husband, you want to be happy together. But because the concept that your man should be like this, like that, when you use that kind of concept, look at your husband, then you will deny your husband, and then become quarreling. This kind of conventional concept is the cause of your quarrel and the cause of your negative feelings. But your original mind, actually, you follow your original mind, your conscious actually want to become one. You learn from somewhere that this kind of knowledge as a husband should be like this, like that. But my husband did not do this, did not should be kind to me, should say something, should protect us. In this situation, he should do like this. What he's doing, what kind of person is like this? Then you think like it become the thinking like this. Suppose you want to trust and love him and want to love each other, but because of the comparison. Because of the comparison cause the quarreling and fighting between husband and wife. If you can use the eye of heart to look at your husband's conscience, then you will really be grateful and appreciate him. Mm. But if you use the conventional concept and look at him, then really you see all his shortcoming. So, like as a, for example, like there's a one example of a father and son is quarreling. Then the father, why you don't listen what your father said? And then the son said, you know what you say is not correct. It's strange. Then the father said, what? What are you saying? Mm. You are not my child. Your son should not say like this. Then the son very angry. Then mm, your father yourself, you're not doing it right. And then start to criticize the father. The father said, "No, you are not my child." And saying like this, you get out. So kick out the child. Then the mother said to the husband, said to the father, said, "You should not say like this way." Mm. Then this, then then the father said, the son become like this. It's because you did not testify me. Then that's why he become like child like this. It's because of you." Then they start to criticize, blame the wife. Mm. Then the wife said, as a father, what did you do? Why you say like this? Then again, they blame the father. So this became a hell for them. Then that father attend this seminar and he really have a deep realization. Mm, yeah. Mm. No, sorry. Maybe the child attend the seminar. Then he said he really hate the father because always say like this to him. Only give direction, demanding. That's why he really fight back to the father. He don't like this kind of father. Sorry. uh, Sorry, because the father, his family before is like that. That's the way that his father taught him before. That's why the same way he do to his own son. Mm. So the same way he mm, that's why his child also fight against him. So that's the reason. So that time the father, so though he didn't like his father and the way he did to him, but he's still using the same way did to his own son. So that's the conventional concept, is willing himself that didn't remove. So it caused the result like that. The real so the deep in heart, they want to become like close friends, but couldn't make it. Yeah. In Japan, if I give this seminar, there's many couples say I should listen this earlier so that they help us, because we use the conventional concept and live in the family. Really, we have a lot of suffering within our family, our relationship with husband and wife, and our children. So. So it is okay as long you learn now. It's not too late to start now. Mm. As long we can really find our original heart, we can really connect and really understand each other. Now it's the husband, the husband's conventional concept toward the wife. Um, so in the husband thinking also, wife should be always dressed beautiful, mm, looks very feminine, like that. But when start family, the reality is different, and then the comparison. So they start don't like the wife, so become fighting. So, suppose you want the happiness, you want to have a good life like that. or those you think your wife should do like this, do like that. Those kind of conventional concept in Japan. In Japan, the husband go home from the work, and the wife will welcome the husband in the gate, in the doorway, then give the slipper, then bring his bag, and then welcome the husband back. And then I already prepared the water. You want to shower or you want to eat first? Which one? That's very very ideal wife image. That's the women, Japanese women before, but nowadays like this to welcome husband, only few can do that. But for men, they still have that desire, expectation. I work so hard in the office. Now I go home. There, I am the owner, so I will be welcome. I should be welcome well. But in reality, the wife cannot do like that way. So now many quarreling because of these things also. But really, originally, we really want to become one and be happy, rejoice together. Be, because should be like this, should be like that. That's because this kind of convention concept make us to deny others. So as a mother as well, just like the example a while ago. So the father will blame the mother, did not educate the children well. That's why the children cannot respect the father. Mm, those kind of cases. Uh, mother mother has also his own conventional concept that like this, the relationship of couple or the parent-child relationship, mm, because of the conventional concept, they deny each other. If we can follow our conscience, the consciousness want us to become one and be happy together, but we could not reach that kind of feeling or thoughts that we think I am right, and then we deny, and then deny the others, then become quarreling and fighting. Like in the church also, the relationship between the brothers sisters also the same. Thai and Malaysia, how about your church relationship? Is there's a difficult situation also? Or smoothly go? Everybody is, the more working hard, the more have difficulties actually. In Japan, Japan members are really working hard, and then they are more confident also coming out, because I think my thinking, my thought is correct, and then so all under this kind of bondage. That's why between the members there's many conflict also. Everyone have his own only own conventional concept that they learn from the past. Also, everybody's situation is different, so everyone feeling is different. So if we look at the external things, then we have it cause conflict. But if we use the eye of heart to see that we really want to be in one, we want to have victory together. So we have to search this kind of original heart. Otherwise, we cannot become one. We cannot unite together. When the Shibuya church is 6,000 couples, men, then he really he was a leader before, and he also go home for HTM and then try to make business in his hometown. But because of the relationship with others, he struggled a lot. Then he trying to study God's word, try to resolve his own hard problem, but couldn't really find out how to deal with himself. So he couldn't make it. Then you also go to for healing, for counseling or other religion, try to learn. to try to resolve his problem. But in the end, still cannot change himself because he think he is correct and deny others. That situation is continue repeat and repeatedly. But after learn this seminar, then he found out that deny think you think yourself is correct. That is fallen nature. That's our from our evil mind. So then he realized that he's already is more than 60 years old already. That moment, that time, he has a very big transformation. Then up, after the seminar, then now he even can go out to with the young people to do witnessing. This week, that person also his spiritual children, PMC couple, will receive blessing. This person's testimony is really give a lot of inspiration. Mm. Because he think he's right and always deny others. This is from evil mind. This is a fallen nature. He came to realize it. So it influenced a lot of people in Kose Church. Brother, sister, many are graduated from college, very smart, intellect people. Then they hear his testimony. They understand we should not use our knowledge or experience to judge others, to deny others. Yeah. Because that is, I think I myself is correct. And that's my own viewpoint. That's my fallen nature. Then this actually is difficult to do because we always think we are right and to deny others. This is our habit. Yeah, actually. I do this counseling. I do 3 or 4 years this kind of seminar education. Some couple really develop their education, develop their relationship. I see how they change. They really try to let go everything from then really embrace what their husband is now and embrace the wife what the wife is now. So their suffering really liberated, their relationship really improved. Mm. Maybe you also use the kind of eyes looking at your spouse or children that with the conventional concept. uh, you have to notice that you have to embrace them what they are, the way they are. Mm. That also parent-child relationship the same. Yeah, this kind of conventional concept, and then you are demanding your children follow what you think. Oh. Now you demand and give order, then your children, but they don't follow. Mm. Mm. You should search the child's original mind, what is his desire, then embrace him, um, accept him. Like this, they practice these works, and then many couples become again. They can go back to their starting point and recover their relationship. Mm. Remove fallen nature. This the summary of this. Uh, Behind my negative feeling, there are strong established concepts. You should be like this, must be like that. That is blind binding me. So try to accept them. It is okay if you are not like this, like that. It is okay. You will do like this, like that. You may do like this, like to accept them with courage and determination. conventional concept is somebody asks, is conventional concept is wrong? No, not all the conventional concept is wrong, because there's a timing that it is necessary. Not everything is all the concept is wrong. But the point is, you are under the bondage of those those conventional concepts, and then you've denied everything and denied people. Mm. And because of your fear and you're uneasy, then you get angry or something. Then you hurt people. Then you have to notice these points. And you try to think. Uh, if can do this, then how happy you will be. Try to go back to that how to say, original mind's point. It tell yourself in your heart, it is okay even if things do not go my way. This will really effective, because our fallen concept, our thinking, we want things, we want people to follow what we think. That's why we deny others. That's the very strong habit we have. So by looking at them, immediately you deny, the feeling of denying coming out. And that's why you have it is come from our fallen nature. Mm. When people listen this lecture, they have all kinds of response. There was a question: is that okay? I forgive, like killing, murder. To say that the one we can forgive. He said, no, no, that's not the meaning. We have to also, though we should not allow those things happen. Of course, murdering, like the, but mm, so we have to embrace people first, even meaning if they don't understand. So we still have to embrace them first, then educate them. If you have the problem with the human relationship, if I have the negative feeling toward the person, mm, so if that feeling keep in your heart, you will always have a dark shadow in your heart. Mm. That's why if there's a people that you struggle, you have to really change the image of the person. Then you can really give lights to him. Then you talk to the person's conscience. They say, it's okay. And then thank you for worrying about me. Uh, maybe you can feel the response from his conscience, the feeling of the person. Then by this way, you can feel the voice of that person's conscience. Then slowly you yourself will be resolved. You really want, actually you really want to become one with you, then you can feel that kind of conscious of yourself. Also you can feel the person's conscious, so then you really hope he's also become happy, become good. So that kind of, you can feel the light that you are in one, that kind of feeling. And so then you can resolve your relationship problem. Then you can talk to the person, you can work together with the person. Showing good honor, meaning it's like we can have this kind of heart. Uh, if you always deny people, you will feel suffering feeling only. So if you continue denying the person, who is the one suffer? It's yourself. If you continue deny him, if he will change? No, he will not change. The more you deny, the more suffering is yourself. That's why you do not hurt you, do not hurt yourself anymore. So the person is also God's child. So you have to find out his original nature as well. So you try to understand the person must his reason, his situation. That's why he is like that. Yeah. And so we have to activate our parental love. Then you can really love the person based on parental heart. Mm. Then so resolve your own heart first. Use your centering on true love. Try to unite your mind and body. Then God's true love. No, then showing good honor, you can possess God's true love. Couple can unite as one. Parent and child can unite as one. You can remove your fallen nature. Mm. Okay. This section is finished. Thank you. Next is lunch.